pseudo program that kinda is wannabe Yandere Dev. So I will create, let's say, a picker, a method that picks what your favorite number is. So public static void pick your fave number, and it's going to take an input as int fave number for its number. Nope, wrong one. So this method just takes an input of your favorite number and prints your favorite number. So let's begin, shall we? Let's code this method. So in this method, what I'll do is create an if statement. So if favorite number is equal to 1, I'm going to do an sysout print line. Your favorite number is 1. I'm not going to even use this variable. Why? Because I'm going to try to follow Yandere Dev style. So I have one single if statement here. Well, you may have noticed why I did not use the variable here. Instead, I'll do something different. I will do more if statements. I'll do else if your favorite number is equal to 2. Then I'll do this. I'm not gonna even use this input. Whoops. And then guess what I'm going to do? Yet another else if statement. This time it's 3. And then I'll do this. Your favorite number is 3. Once again, not using the input because I'm trying to code like Yandere Dev. So, another thing, repeat. And then else if 4, then 4. Repeat. 5. And then 6. And then 7. And then 8. You can tell this is not going well. You can see that this code is duplicated code. Duplicated code. In everyday life and programming, you want to try to avoid code duplication as possible. But in this case, I am duplicating code because Yandere Dev loves these duplicated if statements. Yeah, when you see this, he's a source code for his Yandere Dev Simulator game, you will notice like a blanket of if and else if statements, like a chain, like a zipper. And I'm gonna keep going. 6, 7, 8. My eyes can't really follow these lines of code anymore. And I'm afraid I am already making a mistake. This is no good. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going and I'm not gonna progress any further. Let's pretend that this goes on forever. Or not. Let's just finally do an else here while pretending that this goes on forever. this else ifs and replace it with else here, like that. Or better off, I would better off return like this. Like that. This is print out. I would usually do this like that, and I'll do this. This is normally what I would do like that. But in Yandere Dev, he loves to use a bunch of else if statements like that, like a blanket, like that. And so let's just test it out and use this Yandere Dev style function or method. So I'm going to do a scanner here to allow user for input. Import statement and create my scanner. And print a message. What's your favorite? I'm not gonna care about spelling. Favorite number. And I'll do an input scanner int next. Next int. And I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run it now. What's your favorite number? I'll say 13. Your favorite number is 13, yeah. In the case how it works is that it runs through this if and else statements until my number matches these and these validations. So what this code will actually run is I will pass 13 and it's going to run these series of if statements. If your favorite number is 13, it's false. Skip, go to else if 13 not 2. Skip 3, no. 4 not equal. 5 not equal. And I already made a mistake here, which is pretty nice. When I see a blanket of if and else, it's more likely I'll see a mistake. I make a mistake because of my eyes being all over the place. And it's gonna keep running until it reaches 13. And it's gonna say this. And if I would run it again, and I'll do a 50, then I'll just run through all of this, making the computer check all of these if and else, and eventually it's gonna print out this else statement here. And this method is complete. You may know that although this works in this program, it's gonna only work in the short term. If you would code like this in your games or something, your games will run really slow because it has to check on all of these if and else. So this is one way you could code like Yandere Dev. Now I'm gonna show you another way I could code. I could code like Yandere Dev. So this is one way. If else. So now that's one way. Now the next way is I'll show you the next way to code like Yandere Dev. And now it's not like this, but a different kind of messy code. So once again, I'm not gonna roast Yandere Dev. He's been a really successful game developer, and I've had to admit that I've also done duplicated code when I'm new, when I was like really starting out, like from scratch as a very brand new developer. Like I would still not call myself a dev, but when I was brand new at Java, I did like duplicated code because I did not know loops back then. So I'm gonna do this the second way. So I'm gonna go to new method that validates that you are you. Public static boolean. This method will return true or false based on 5 or 10 inputs that you are you. Validate if you are you. So it's like a method that takes an input as your name, your your name, your age, let's say your height in centimeters, and blah blah blah, and name, age, height, place of residence, and something else. So let's do something. And if it matches all of these inputs, then based on if it matches all of the inputs like an ID, it will return true or else return false. So keep in mind that I am trying to code like Yandere Dev. So what I'm gonna do is return false at the end, and based on if the input matches all conditions of like a specified ID set of values, which is like your ID, you will return true. This method will return true, and I'll code like Yandere Dev. So what I'll do is I'll make one if statement again. Before I'll declare some inputs. So int, right, string, your name, string name. Second input is int age, your age. The next input is string, let's say country, residence. And then the next input is, the next one will be, let's say, let's say, what should I put? String. Let's do eye color, and let's write as many inputs as I can. Let's write as many inputs as I can. So person class for this type of. So yeah. So what I'll do is I'll check if your name dot equals. I'm not gonna care making variables. I won't care making variables, so I'll just put like hard code values in this if statement here. So I'm gonna check if it equals Kyle because that's my name. And then that's the first condition. Now let's do the second condition. So if this is not met, everything will skip. It's gonna return false. So yeah. So that's the first condition. So if everything is right, everything matches and my first name, and the person that tries to scan the ID is not me, then I'll return false. But if the person that's trying to scan me validate myself that this person is me, if it's my name, then I'm going to test another condition. So if the name input is Kyle, then I'm going to do another if statement, and it's going to be nested. So if age is equal to 22, no, not 11, 22. If that passes, I'm going to do an if statement, another if statement. So if the person who tries to scan their ID, if his name is Kyle, then it has to test if the age is 22. If it's equal to 22, then I'm going to do an if statement, another if statement, which is nested. If this, and no, I'm so used to object-oriented programming, and I'm not using objects, so I'm inclined to use the keyword this, which is a keyword to specify attributes of objects. So if name is Kyle, and then to check if age is 22, and then it passes, that passes. I'm going to check if country residence dot equals Canada, because I live in Canada. If that is true, then it's going to test the next condition, in which I will do another if statement. If now it's going to test eye color. If eye color dot equals brown, or eye color dot equals this is the only line where I'll do some validation, or some like flexibility in terms of inputs, or brown like that, or like this, brown. Sometimes in IDs it's spelled like brown like that, a shortened version. If the eye color matches any of these, like brown, it's gonna test the condition, and guess what? I'll make another nested if statement. So far it's pretty unreadable so far. So I'm intentionally making this deeply nested if statements because I am trying to code like Yandere Dev. This is how Yandere Dev codes. Well, at least in his old code for Yandere Simulator. I remember watching a code review where someone reviewed Yandere Dev's source code, in which at one point it contains like a 10-level if mother's name dot equals Kayla, then it's gonna check another if statement that's nested, rinse and repeat. This time, father's name dot equals test if it equals John Doe reference, rinse and repeat, hair color. This is really bad so far. I'm not gonna do this ever, like, at least when I develop a game in the future or develop a software. For sure I'll try to avoid this deeply nested if statement situation, or else my boss will not like it. My future boss. So I'm gonna do a nested if statement after father's name if hair color dot equals black or black, because depends on how it is spelled. Black. Oh wait. I think that's how I'm not sure if you could do this. Yeah, no, I'll just do this. I'm not gonna care about cleaning up the code because I'm trying to code like a messy coder. Because I used to make many duplicated code. So yeah, black, or sometimes it's spelled like that, BLK for shortened for black, or this capitalized. And lastly, I think there's one more parameter, if card at gender. And guess what? One more nested if. Why not? Because I'm Yandere Dev. I mean, that younger version of Yandere Dev. He probably, for sure, he improved in our days. Over time, it's inevitable that you improve. Because at first you start off really crappy, that you have messy code, you have spaghetti code, you have code that creates a lot of errors. But over time you improve as you go, as you slowly move your way up as a programmer. So, and lastly, if gender dot I can do, because it's a car, I don't use method M, because I'm male, or gender is equivalent to male, upper and lowercase. Return true at last. Alright, so this is my amazing method. It has pretty deeply nested if statements. And so now, lastly, what I'll do is test it. So I'm not gonna care about taking inputs. I'm gonna just test my method. So I'm gonna now test printout. This out because this method is returning true or false. So let's say I'm not Kyle. Let's say I am random guy. I am a random stranger that's trying to scan an ID that he is me. So yeah, let's do validate if you are you, and my name is, let's do John. Again, age is, let's do this huge age, or no, let's do like 31, like an adult, a full-blown adult. Country, Canada. Let's make some inputs valid. Eye color, brown. I actually had to do this first input because I did not erase this part. And it's false because when I passed in these parameters, it first checked if name input equals Kyle using the string input equals, and that's false. So nothing. This block of code, which is all of these subsequent nested if statements, will not run, and it's gonna return false. So yeah. So let's say that everything here is right. I'm Kyle, 22, Canada, brown. Mother's name is Kayla, and father's name is Bob. Hair color is black, I think. Black, yeah. And sex is male, so your gender. So if one of them is true, is false, let's do if my hair color is red, claims to be red in this input. Once again, 76, blah blah blah. False, it's still false because one of my inputs is not true. So this is Yandere going through Yandere Dev's coding style. I checked if name equals Kyle, true. It's gonna run this nested level 1 if statement. 22, age is 22, that is true. Then run this code, nested if statement. Country is Canada, this validates to true. Run this deeply nested if statement inside that. Eye color, if it matches any of these. I should have done better with strings, but I don't really care about that because this is short term. The goal is to replicate one of Yandere Dev's coding styles. And that's true because brown is brown, that's true. Then pass in Kayla, name equals Kayla, that's true. Run this nested if statement. Father's name is John. Father's name is John. No. It should be John, not Bob. So yeah, if in that case it was like John here, it was like Bob here, and this became false, so now everything will skip and returned false. So now, what if I would make all inputs right? So I have everything black. If I would run it, it'll be true. True, because that is me, because my number is 6. Well, it's a joke here. That does not matter because I've used all of these inputs. These favorite number inputs are not applicable to these. So, Kyle, 22, everything is right. Kayla, John. So these if statements are validated true. So, going to the father's name, it's right. So, that equals John. So, this will then run. Hair color matches any of these strings. Black. Pass. That's true. Then it's gonna run this last condition. If the gender is male or female. No. If gender equals M, uppercase or lowercase male. In that case, if that's true, I will finally return true. And yeah, that's the end of this method. So yeah. So this method is the second way to code like Yandere Dev. So to recap, this is one way to code like Yandere Dev, and this word with all of these else and ifs, else, if else, blah blah blah. the chain of if and if else if, like a zipper. And the second way to code like Yandere Dev is these nested if and else statements. No, these nested if statements. So yeah, this is the video. This video is how I showed you how to code like Yandere Dev in a nutshell with ASMR tingles. So this is the end of this video. If you do get your tingles, please drop a like down below. And I make some ASMR coding videos. I made some ASMR vlogs maybe, or gaming videos. I do